We all know about Edward Snowden and his exposure of the United States government spying. I thought I should go on the record with something that might enlighten or help somebody make up their mind. Years ago, when we didn't have all these fancy cell phones, everything was landline. If you wanted to send an order from hither to yon, you actually sent a telex. On television in the evening, the newsrooms actually had them going in the background to indicate to you that they were getting the very latest news. That's how we did things. If I wanted to order something, I'd send a telex to somebody and he would ship the merchandise. That was considered state of the art. Telephone lines were all actually a wire from your phone all through a myriad to this other guy's phone. An actual wire connected us, okay? If you wanted to call England, you actually had a wire going under the ocean to England and coming back up. Yeah, true. Okay. Well, I had some friends that worked for AT&T, and they had what they called switching stations. So when you made a phone call from here, went to a switching station, which sent it to here, to here, to here, and depending on how far away, it would go through a half dozen different switching stations. And these guys, as a regular part of their day, would listen in to phone calls. And they had guys that would call their lovers at 2 o'clock every Tuesday, and they would listen in and they'd howl at what was going on. And in big cities like Chicago and New York, the guys regularly listened in to brokers. And the brokers would say, I got a hot tip on AT&T or some company. And these guys would go buy 100 shares and they'd double their money or make quite a bit of killing. And it was always so small that it was under the radar of the Securities and Exchange Commission. But these guys had great stories that they overheard on the top. All right, now, were they supposed to do that? No. Was it legal to do that? No. Did they do it? Oh yeah, by the score. And if you can find old AT&T guys, they will talk to you today because the statute of limitations for crucifixions has expired, so they can't get hurt. Now, if you think that guys that work for the NSA aren't listening in to your shit, you're crazy. They're human, just like the rest of us. And they're going to have some fun with this because that's what they do. We're people. When we do something crazy, there's a job. It's a guy that works for Costco, and all he does is stand by the gasoline pumps to make sure everybody's safe. Okay? It's got to be the toughest job in the world. You can't read a book. You can't talk on a cell phone. You can't really talk to the customers because they just want to get gas and get the heck out of there. So you just walk around. And almost every time that I go to get gas, there's a new guy there. And obviously they're paying him, but obviously it's too tough a job because when it's 96 out there, it's got to be hell. Well, think about standing around all these computers and they're all listening in to all these people. After about 4 or 5 months of this, you're going to want to do something. And if one of the guys says to you, come here, listen to this guy, listen to what he's telling this broad, you're going to want to listen to it. And it's going to be hysterical. And you're going to, come here, and pretty soon they're going to be shipping this stuff all over. In other words, we can't trust people for the long haul. Okay? Every movie you've ever seen shows about the bank guard at the middle of the night who falls asleep and the bad guys get in. That's not myth. That's fact. The government, people that are working for the government, cannot be trusted to carry or hold a high level of integrity over a long period of time without supervision. It just can't be done. Now, what should happen is all intercepts should be coded before they get to NSA. So if I say, hey, John, how you doing? The guys at NSA should hear, blah, 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 okay? And then they should have a computer that takes that and looks for keys. If I said, "Hello, John, let's kill somebody," and then throws that particular call out, but only that call, then we can control the computers by limiting the number of people that have access to them. This may work, and I say may work, because there's always a Snowden hanging around ready to do something that you don't expect. And if you don't know that, and if you don't plan for that, then you're an academic, and you have no business being off the grounds of a college. That's my comment.